Okay guys, welcome back. I just changed my masteries. Now I'm not happy at this point because Alliance War started and everybody moved to their lanes, and this one guy decided that he wasn't going to follow orders and he was going to go rogue. He decided to bring in his own champs and saw which lane he was supposed to take and joined. He never consulted anyone, and he died twice on Havoc, on Hazard Shift, and then left the Alliance. So already it's a bad start. We already have 6 deaths within Section 1. Unbelievable. This guy, whoever he is one lucky son of a... Yeah, decided to bring Emma Frost, Hitmonkey, and Colossus and take on Hazard Shift. The way the attack was designed is that everybody has a counter for every section and every mini, and it was just frustrating. So I was already pissed off. So now I'm just gonna take my lane and try to rearrange attack. So how I'm going to do this is I'm going to take I'm going to take Ebony Maw with Quake, and that's going to be my first match. And I change Suicides because my last phase was placement phase, so now I have to turn back on Suicides just for these 2 fights, which is not a problem. We all know that spending units is part of the job. So I turn Suicides on, and Ebony Maw isn't very difficult to Quake. So how I do it is every 10 aftershocks, that's when I will actually parry. Now I'm not going for parry as like that parry, I'm just going for a simple parry. That way I could get him down as fast as possible because there's no big deal in fighting this guy. So it's just section 1. So the next fight is Darkhawk. And I made a mistake and I used Quake. And the mistake was I boosted up to 90%. Darkhawk is very easy to Quake. And there was no point in me boosting now, especially knowing that we were down a guy, but it's part of the job. So I used one item there and I went against Darkhawk on Ebb and Flow knockdown. It was a very straightforward fight. I don't think anything bad happened in this fight. I wasn't too concerned about this fight. I was more concerned or worried about the other fights. So as you could see, Quake with Suicides is just melting him. And like I said, every time he gets to 10 aftershocks, anytime after 10 aftershocks, that's when you really want to parry him. So you don't have to take too much block damage by just Quake and parry. And Darkhawk is already down. Now, while playing this, I'm really upset. I'm steaming because I already know that we're down a guy. And the plan that we already set into motion wouldn't actually work because our backup was supposed to take a domino on one of the nodes on Footloose. So we weren't prepared for domino on Footloose because everybody already joined except for the idiot who decided to leave the Alliance because he could not fight Havoc. Died twice. So now this fight, I'm just using Colossus here. It's a 5-star Nick Fury, so I wasn't too concerned. I did this fight once during the off season, so I thought I remembered how it went, but I totally forgot that after his special, he gains it. Well, no, after his heavy, he gains the unstoppable, and then I dashed in right here, and I got hit. No, okay, I didn't get hit. I got hammered, and now I'm thinking, oh, I can't bait his heavy anymore. So instead of baiting his heavy, I went straight in for the attack. He's unblockable now, so I'm going to go for an intercept if I can. So he's no longer unblockable. And the idiot, whoever is in King Q, plays with suicides. At this level, anybody placing with suicides need to get kicked. So my alliance member took a long shot, but he didn't get the solo. And he used Void, which is acceptable. Void usually gets the job done. And as you can see, I'm playing like I would normally play by using the items up. And the problem with that is I am not really keeping count of the items right now, because usually we heal up every champ before you go into the match. So the items was not a big deal at the start of the Alliance War for me. So I'm just gonna finish long shot here with Colossus. Should be a easy fight if I could get my parries on. Already, you know I'm upset from the 6th death that we had in Section 1. I mean, we worked so hard to have 6 in Section 1. And even during this fight, I was frustrated because at that time, the Alliance King Q was in the lead. Had 9 or between 9 and 11 points difference in death, which means they were looking as though they were going to take this one and put it in the bag. But my alliance didn't give up. I mean, 6 in Section 1, it's tough to start with. It'll get anybody frustrated, but all you have to do is keep going. Now the next fight, COG, is a very simple fight. I have done this fight a million times since I've joined the Alliance. And I'm using Doom, and only because it's a 5-star Doom, I'm not really concerned, because obviously it's a 5-star versus an R3. So you should expect nothing more than Doom actually shattering this rock. I got hit by a SP1, and then I started evading his SP1s because they were unblockable. And yeah, I know I told you guys that most times I don't evade the SP1s. I take it on the block because Doom could manage. But those SP1s that I'm evading, actually, it's because it's unblockable. No other reason. Now, this one I played it sloppy. Obviously, because I was really upset, so you could see how much health that I'm losing here. And then I started to really think maybe I should actually slow down, because we might be down, but we weren't that bad, because the other alliance was dying in simple fights. And when we looked at it, we were like, a lot of them plays with suicides, like this other idiot here. And it just made our job a lot more, I don't know, like interesting, I should say. So this is where it actually became very interesting, because we did not have a counter for Domino. So my initial thought was maybe we should go in and just go in and try to see if we could manpower Domino. She has kinetic transference, she has footloose, she has force of will, which is actually, force of will was actually my biggest concerned because I've been having this question about force of will, and I didn't play this one good. The my alliance, well, everyone in my battle group already finished their lanes, and they were waiting for the three of us left in section 2 in the middle lane to actually move. So there was a bit of pressure for us to move, and my initial plan here was try to do as much damage as possible. When I first got hit, the invulnerable boost kicked in. Then my SP1 did not power drain her, and that's because of force of will. And I know it's because force of will, ability accuracy reduction, or whatever force of will does, which was okay. I should have expected it. So the fight isn't going as well as I would have hoped. And it is an R3 domino, so I knew it wouldn't be a easy fight. And I wasn't going to post it, but I'm like, what the heck, it's an alliance war, and this is the only way we get good is by showing others the errors that we made, which is also an error here. So she simply evaded and KO'd me. So at this point, you could sense my frustration. So I went back in, I healed up Doom. Now I only have 2 items left, I believe, 3 items left. And then I remembered last Alliance War, I quaked the node. So I'm thinking maybe I should quake Domino. It's an easy fight if I quake Domino. Now, last Alliance War, the problem is we were trying to discuss if Force of Will would actually work against Quake. So I contacted Line Crew and Minash and we spoke about it, and it didn't do anything when it was Havoc. So against Domino, as you could see, it actually did something. Now, it was also my error because when critical failure actually kicked in, I should have realized that, wait, Quake isn't working. And then I panicked. And once you panic with Quake, it's the end of the line. As you can see, critical failure is still there, active. So quaking Domino and critical failure being there, it actually means that ability accuracy reduction isn't working for Quake. So if Domino has an ability, it would not shut it down. So basically, I just finished quaking and she's at 47%, which is good enough for my teammate to come in and finish her off. It's no longer a big health pool, and that's a lesson learned. On Footloose, absolutely do not quake Domino. Now, I should have known that, but during the state that we were in, without our counter, it just didn't click in at the time. So Domino down, and I have Thor Ragnarok next, which is actually a good placement. I mean, I wasn't too concerned. I would be concerned if it was a 6-star or 3-star Ragnarok, because then it would be a very long fight. So I had to turn suicides back off. In this alliance war, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times I had to play with suicides. I believe turn it on and off, and every single alliance war I have to change suicides, and it depends on the champ. So Quake obviously isn't that fast without suicides. Doom isn't good with suicides. Colossus doesn't really care. He's just a beast no matter what. With suicides, the fight would last about 20 seconds. Okay, I'm exaggerating a bit, about 10 seconds. Without it, it takes a while. Now, I'm letting my SP3 go because obviously he has his power gain going, and Doom is actually gonna stop the power gain, and then I'm going to go in for the usual combo, medium light, medium light, whatever, and then he has the power gain here, and that was crucial because when I let that SP2 go, it actually stopped him at 2 bars, which is good. But if you look at his health, he's like halfway, and I'm thinking, oh, this is an easy fight. It's the first time I'm taking Thor Ragnarok on that, and I'm not going to intercept him because if he does get auto block, I'm in problems, and I only have two. I believe I only have two items used left. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to push Doom to an SP3 and then repeat the cycle. This seems to be the easiest way to work with him. So the plan here is to out damage Thor Ragnarok. Now I think here I realize, wait, he's at 15, now 16, now 19. Okay, so he's at 2 bars. Maybe I should do it again and see how good my timing is. So I went in, dropped the SP3, and then I'm going to do medium, light, medium, and power drain him, which is the combo that everyone should be used to by now. And then I'm going to let that SP2 go. But instead of letting the SP2 go, I'm looking at his power right now, and it's low. And I'm like, wait, this fight already ended? Because I was expecting it to be a little longer. 100 and odd hits, which is not bad. And I'm going to do the same thing with Nova, which I've done a million times. I'm not going to try intercepting because there's no point in intercepting Nova. And most times it's just a 5-star. So Doom is just going to bait out the heavies, like right here, going for a 5-hit combo. And repeat. Now I pushed him to an SP2, which I normally don't do. But I'm thinking, you know what? It's not bad. I shouldn't have a problem pushing him to his SP2 as long as I don't get hit from it. Now he's unblockable right now. So I'm just staying away. Now I'm going to bait out his heavy. Go back in for simple 5-hit combo. Bait his SP1. Dex the last part of the SP1, which is fine because Doom is also a stubborn defender, an attacker basically. So basically I'm not worried about the Dex part of it. But then I realized I keep pushing him to an SP2, which I normally don't do. So I'm playing the game a bit more. Well, I was in a rush at this point because everyone already finished and everyone was waiting, and I had to take out mini boss on Hazard Shift. I had the only option basically. Well, I did not have the only option, but the other counters were 5 stars. So right here, I'm just going to try and end this fight as fast as possible. I'm going to build up to my SP2, I believe now. And well, SP3. And then go from there. So all I need to do is basically bait out a heavy and then finish the fight. And this should do it. After my SP3, I should not have a reason to go to SP2. So if I can't remember, I should not have a reason to go to SP2 because that's straight damage right there. Yeah. Now I know I'm late posting, but I was really upset and I was gonna post a bunch of curse words to the guy who could not fight Havoc and died in Section 2 and then left the Alliance. And then I took a few days off to breathe. So this will be my last fight. It's Arcus. I'm going to use my last 2 items. I think I'm going to use 1 because just in case something happens. And I'm not going to use any heavy boosts on this fight because Arcus, the guy who plays Arcus, the idiot who plays Arcus and plays so many other champs, is running Suicides. So the plan here is to attack him during the Incinerate phase, and then during Poison phase use my parries so I could deal about 1500 damage, bait out his special so that way his recoil could do damage. So basically I'm letting him kill himself and I'm just sitting back and waiting for an opening. So right now here's an opening. I'm going to take it because the poison phase ended and Vision Arcus is already like halfway down the drain. So I let my SP2 go and I'm going to bait that SP2. Now poison phase ended. I just did a parry. Another parry. Well, yeah. That way I'm doing damage while I parry him. Not only am I doing damage while I parry him, but when I also bait out that special, he's going to do some more damage to himself. And yeah, this fight is in the bag before it even started. Now this is a rank 3 Vision Arcus placed on Hazard Shift, which is actually a good placement, but it's a terrible choice to come in with Suicides. And this was the end of our battle group. And as you could see, it was a tie. 50 attackers killed, 50 attackers killed, 11 defenders killed, 11 defenders killed. But anyways, it was a good matchup. We actually won, kicked ass, came back, recovered. And I'm thankful and glad for the win. Although I really want to kill the guy who left. I'm just going to take this win and see you guys on the next one.